we have two questions here on the binomial theorem. First, use the binomial theorem to expand this. It's 1 over x to the cube minus 3, not minus the cube root of x raised to the power of 6. Let's start looking at this. This is the binomial theorem below here, which I copied. Remember, n0 means the same as nc0. Means the same as n factorial over n minus 0 factorial 0 factorial, right? A to the n, and so on and so forth. But let me rewrite this binomial theorem. So a plus b raised to the power of n is equal to, it's nc0. I kind of prefer the c. And if you don't have the superscript and subscript, it's the same thing as nc0 like this, alright? So nc0, a to the n, b to the 0, right? Plus nc1, a to the n minus 1, b to the 1, plus nc2, a to the n minus 2, b to the 2, and so on and so forth. You notice the power of b and a, they always add up to n. So n minus 2 plus 2 is the same as n, right? Example. But let's look at solving this. So 1 divided by x cube is the same thing as x to the negative 3, alright, minus, now this is the same thing as x raised to the power of 1/3, alright, same thing. Now here it's raised to the power of 6. So what we have therefore, let me write that part below here. What we have therefore is 6c0 x to the negative 3 raised to the power of 6 x to the 1/3 raised to the power of 0. You follow that? Just like how this says a to the n. There's a b here now, but they didn't bother to write it because it's b to the 0. So it's a to this power, b to the 0. It's the first thing to this power 6 and the second to the 0. Alright? Alright. So, here now. Oh, by the way, something here. I don't want to miss out this part. You see, this is saying, oh my, I erased something, a part of this, you know, is equal to, okay, good. This is saying a plus b. Now you see this plus this is the same thing, if you put in the plus, the same thing as this plus negative this. So this is the same as plus negative x to the 1/3. We put a plus negative x to the 1/3, alright? Because the default operation here is add your plus. So this is negative x to the 1/3, alright? Make sure you follow. The first term is x to the negative 3, so it's nc0 x to the negative 3. The second term is negatives because it's a plus negative x to the 1/3. Remember, it started out as this minus this. So you put it here as plus negative. All right. Plus now. Plus what? Now you have to remember that this is going to be 6. In fact, let me rewrite all of this using different colors. So we have NC0. Then we have x to the negative 3. Let me put that in bracket. And we have times negative x to the 1/3. Now x to the negative 3 will be to the 6. X to the 1/3, negative x to the 1/3 will be to the 0. Alright? Now, the next term, the plus, the next term for n, c, is not nc0 now, it's nc1. Then we're going to have nc2. Remember, we're going to have nc2, nc3, nc4, and so on and so forth. Then we have x to the negative 3, reduce the power to the 5, then x to the negative 3, reduce the power further to the 4th, and so on. And then the negative x to the 1/3, you increase the power from 0 up. So here, you have NC1. Then you have x to the negative 3 raised to the power of, you go down from 6 to 5. When it comes to negative x to the 1/3, you go up from 0 to 1. See that? Then you plus. You went to NC1, is now going to be NC2. Alright? X to the negative 1/3 raised to the power of, you drop from 6 to 5 and then 4. You see that? And then the negative x, oh, I had put negative 1/3 a while ago. It should be negative 3, not negative 1/3. This is to the negative 3, right? X to the negative 3 to the 4th. And then after that, negative x to the negative x to the 1/3. I want to say power now. Power goes up to 2. Alright? Now, from NC2, you go to NC3. Right? And next one will be NC4, then NC5, and so on. Here, the x part, it was x to the negative 3 to the power of 4. You're dropping the powers, so it goes down to the power of 3. And then you have negative x to the 1/3. What's the new power now? You went up from 1 to 2 to 3. Alright? After that, it's going to be plus NC4. Alright, so notice the pattern. You have NC1, then NC2, then NC3, then NC4. For the x part, you have the x to the power of negative 3. You have to the 5, then the 4, then the 3. Next one will be to the 2. So it's x to the negative 3 to the power of 2. Alright? And then negative x to the 1/3 to the power of, what's the new power? It was negative x to the 1/3 was to the 1, then it goes to the 2, then to the 3. So now it is to the 4th. Right? So you have to just follow the pattern of the binomial expansion. Alright? After that, it goes to plus NC5. Then to the x to the negative 3 goes down from 2 to 1. And then after that, negative x to the 1/3, the power goes up to 5. Next, you have plus NC6. Then you have x to the negative 3 raised to the power of, it goes right down to 0. To the power of 0, they normally leave that out, but I want to write it here. And then the negative x to the 1/3 goes up to the power of 6. Alright? Now notice here, let me just erase this first, that the powers add up to 6 at all times. 6 plus 0 is 6, 5 plus 1 is 6, 4 plus 2 is 6, 3 plus 3 is 6, 2 plus 4 is 6, 1 plus 5 is 6, 0 plus 6 is 6, alright? The combination, the n on it, you see, it remains, but this value goes from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the first item was x to the negative 3. The power went from 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 to 0. And as for the second item in the bracket, negative 1 x to the 1/3, the power goes up from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 and to 4, 5, and 6. Alright? Now, let's see what happens here. The n that we're talking about is 6. So, let's write it now as 6. It's 6. It is 6 C0. Then x to the, when you say x to the negative 3 to the power of 6, you must multiply the indices now. So it's to the power of negative 18. And then negative 1/3 to the power of 0. When you raise any number to the 0, you get 1. So times 1. But you don't have to write it there, the 1. You can leave it out. Plus 6C1. Alright? The n we're talking about here, where I had put it as n before to follow the general pattern, but you know the n that we're dealing with is 6. So here, this n is really 6. In fact, I could erase it and put 6 and just replace everything with 6. You have 6 there. The n was 6, so I changed this to 6. This n was 6, so I changed it to 6. The 6 remains as it is throughout. This n here is 6. All the n's are 6. I just change them to 6. The 6, is 6. This is 6. And one last one here. Change this to 6. So, as you see, 6C0, then 6C1, then 6C2, then 6C3, then 6C4, then 6C5, then 6C6. The 6 at the top remains. But at the bottom is 0, 1, and so on and so forth. Alright, so what we have here is negative 3 times 5. So it's x to the negative 15. And then the negative x to the 1/3 to the power of 1 is just negative x to the 1/3. Alright? Plus, you have 6c2. 6c2. Then you have x to the negative 3 by 4. Oh, hold on. Let me just make sure everything is okay. Alright. 3 4 is 12. So it's x to the negative 12. And then negative 1/3 times 2 is x to the negative 2/3. Plus, you have 6c3. With this 6c3 now, you say negative 3 by 3 is x to the 9. And then you have negative 1/3. X to the negative 1/3 by 3. When you multiply 1/3 by 3, you get 1. So it's just x. Alright? Plus, after this now, you have 6c. This was what? 6c. No, this is 6c4. And then you have x to the negative 3 by 2 is negative 6. And then negative x to the 1/3 by 4 is negative x to the 4/3. See that? Plus, and after this, you have 6c5. So it's 6c5, then x to the negative 3 times 1 is just x to the negative 3. After that, negative x to the 5/3, because when you multiply 1/3 by 5, you get 5/3. Then finally out here now, you say plus 6c6, then x to the negative 3 to the 0. But negative 3 times 0 is 0, so it's x to the 0, which is just 1. Alright? So you can leave that part out. After that now, you say negative x to the 6/3, which is 2. Alright, so you see what we get now. This is equal to what is 6c0. We're just going to use our calculator and work it out. As you can use a calculator and work these out. Well, you know, it's going to be 6 factorial over 6 minus 0 factorial, 0 factorial. But, where is the factorial on this calculator? I mean, I don't have factorial on this. Doesn't seem like I have factorial on this calculator. Oh, let's see. 6. Oh, it's just factorial. Not the factorial, I mean, the combination. There's a combination. All right. Keyboard. Let's see something here. We know that 3 factorial Where is it? Oh, x factorial. Right. I see. 0 factorial is 1. 2 factorial would be 2. 3 factorial is going to be 6. Okay. Even though we don't have a combination, we can calculate the factorial here. The 6C0 is going to be 6 factorial divided by, open bracket, 6 minus 0 factorial, which is really 6 factorial, times 0 factorial, which is 1. So this is 1. Good. So this is going to be 1. So what we really have is just x to the negative 18. Right? Plus 6c1. We know it's going to be 6, but let's test it anyway. So what we're going to have here is 6 factorial over, let's use 2 open bracket, 6 minus 1, close bracket, factorial times 1 factorial, close bracket, equal. Good. So this is 6. I know that this would be 6, but wanted to make sure. This is 6 x to the negative 15. Now, when you say x to the negative 15, let us just work it out right here. X to the negative 15 times x to the times negative x to this. What you're going to have is times negative is going to be x to the negative 15 over 3, which is 5. All right? So, this is x to the negative 15 over 3, which is, x to the negative 15 over 3, which is 5. All right. Plus, the next part now, 6c2. Let's work it out. We want to save some time by working these out on our calculator instead of manually. It's good for you to practice to do it manually, with just pencil and paper. But I just want to save some time here. So, this is 6 factorial over, open bracket, 6 minus 2. Well, I know it's 4 already, so let's just save some time by going through it. 6 factorial over, open bracket, 6 minus 2 is 4. So it's over 4 factorial times 2 factorial, close bracket, equal. And we have 15. So this part is 15. So it is 15 x to the, well, it's going to be negative times negative x to the. And we have 12 twos, no, 3 into 12, 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 12, 4, 4 twos, 8. So it's to the 8, right? Plus, and then 6C3 now. 6C3 is going to be you have 6 factorial over open bracket. 6 minus 3 factorial. So 6 minus 3 is 3. So it's 3 factorial times 3 factorial, close bracket, equal. It's 20. Right? So you have 20 times, and then it's x to the, it's going to be a negative. It's times negative x to the 9 and 1 is 10. So it's going to be 10 plus 6C4 now. So out here you have 6C4. We're going to look at what this gives us. So what we're going to get is 6 factorial over open bracket. 6 minus 4 factorial is going to be 2 factorial times 4 factorial, close bracket, equal 15. Now, you probably realize it's going to be 15 already because this is symmetrical. You go 1, 6, 15, 20, then you drop back down to 15. The next one will be 6 and the next one will be 1. But we still work it out. Alright? So here, it's this one we're looking at. Let me put some space in it because I want to line it up properly. So it's 15. So it's going to be x to the negative 6. Well, it's times negative x to the. And this is going to be 3 and 3, 1, 3 and 6, 2, 2 4s, 8, 15. So it's negative. It's going to be negative x to the 8. Alright? Then we have plus 6C5. Now 6C5 is going to be the same as 6C1, which is 6. Because 6C1 is 6 factorial over 5 factorial, 1 factorial. 6C5 is going to be 6 factorial over 1 factorial, 5 factorial. Right? So it's 6. You could work it out for yourself. So this is 6 x to the, so time negative x to the. So this is going to be to the 5th power. And then plus 1, which is just 1. And then x to the 2 times negative x to the 2. So let's put these things all together now. This is going to be equal to x to the negative 1, 8. It would be the 8th root, 1 over the 8th root of x. Right? Well, let's leave it as it is. So the negative 1, 8 plus, well, it would be minus 6 x to the negative 5 minus 15 x to the 8. Then you have minus 20 x to the 10 minus, remember, if these were whole numbers, if these powers were whole numbers, you'd have a plus and a minus and a plus and a minus. But since these were a fraction, right? Oh, I'm making a mistake. Some of these are whole numbers. Right. This is a negative. Oh, I missed that part. Yeah. It's a negative x to the negative 5. So it would be 1 over x to the negative 5 Now, this one is a negative x to the positive 8. So let me put them in bracket. So this is in bracket, this in bracket. Let's put them in bracket. Alright. What was this? It's 18. It's not 1 over 8. My mistake here. This is to the negative 18. Right. Where did I get the 1 over 8 from? So it's to negative 18. X to the negative 18. Plus 6 times negative x to the 5. This is an odd power. It's like saying 1 over x to the 5. So, let's put them in their fractional form. This is 1 over 1 over x to the 8 to the 18, all right? This, it's kind of easier to see in the fractional form. This is plus 6 over negative x to the 5th power. All right? Let me kind of get this thing out of the way. Then 15 times negative x to the 8. This is going to be a positive because it's an even power. You have an even number of negatives to multiply, so it turns out a positive. Same thing with this. It's going to be a positive, so it's going to be a plus 20x. Now, this one I put all the way out here. This is also going to be a plus 15x to the 8, because negative x to the 8, you have an even number of negatives. They all multiply out to be positive. This one will be negative because it's an x to the 5, so it's minus 6x to the 5. And then this one is a plus x squared. Alright? So, let's write them out. So this is 1 over x to the 18 minus 6 over x to the 5th minus 15x to the 8 plus 20x to the 10 minus 15x to the 8 minus 6x to the 5th plus x squared. Alright. So, I'm going to ask you to just check it over, see if I'm making a mistake. Alright. Sometimes with complicated mathematics that take a long time to work out and have many parts, you may make mistakes and not realize it. But you get the general idea though. Alright? Now, you want the 8th term of this. We'll put that in a different video.